Even without Jordan Love, this Packers team is straight getting it done. Not sure if you heard, the Packers beat the Titans by a score of 30-14 in an expansive display of merciless physical dominance. We're fixing to break that game down. Plus, Vikings insider Andy Reich is our special guest to get us ready for our first division showdown of the year. All that and more this week on
Two dads and a Chaz, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz, talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Thanks for coming back for more Two Dads and a Chaz football podcast. The show comprised of two dads and two other dudes discussing our undying love for the Green Bay Packers. We are going to uncork a lifetime of bottled up emotional suppression just for you. Our intention today in the episode is to celebrate the progression into a team that doesn't play down to their opponents. We did it. Great teams are ruthless, folks. Also, the appreciation and acknowledgement of our coaching staff. We develop quarterbacks better than they develop their quarterbacks, and that really is the difference in Green Bay. My name is Tyson Fauché. I'm your host today. I am also joined by the other members of Two Dads and a Chaz. First off, my fellow father here, Mr. Aaron Mayhew. Mayhew, how you doing?
How am I doing, T-Bone? We're 2-1 with J-Lo sitting out 2 games. I'm on top of the fucking world. I can't wait to break it down with y'all.
Love it. Also, we got at least one Chaz in every Two Dads and a Chaz. Mr. Chazzy Buddy Baby Boy.
Hey, y'all, man, I'm so stoked about this game we just had, bro. I can't wait to break it down with y'all. Make sure to like and subscribe.
All righty. And then last but not least, Mr. Ty Wendell. How you feeling tonight, low boys, buddy?
The Packers prove they're a contender.
We're going to get right into it, guys, with the first quarter. Our podcast is comprised of 4 quarters. This is the first one. It starts right now. Chazzy.
Yep.
What happened in that game?
Oh, man. Guys, couple of takeaways. Check this out. We demoralized the Titans 30-14 with Jordan Love. And I got to tell you guys, it was the Malik Willis show in this one. To start at halftime, he had the most passing and rushing yards. He was amazing. Slinging the ball, several third and longs with his arm, several third and mediums with his legs, baby. And he got the scoring started for this game. Now, starting that early lead, you can't be mad about it. It was the pass rush that we were talking about last week. It was amazing. They showed up in this one. 8 sacks, the most in a game since 2005, y'all. Almost 20 years. Most sacks they've had, 12 quarterback hits against Jordan Levis. And I got to say, I was stoked the entire way through. And lastly, turnover team, baby. Turnover team. Pick 6 for Jair, interception for Xavier, and now 7 interceptions in 3 games. Last season, they only had 7 for the entire year. Guys, I am hyped. I'm stoked. Bam! Let's keep it going.
Hell yeah, Chazzy, Nick. Thank you. Great breakdown, my friend. Well done. So, yeah, I want to start right at the beginning, if we can, with the first play. I like I said in our intro and the intent of the show, you got to give it up to this coaching staff. They not only did what they did last week and kind of outcoached the team, they started this game right off the bat where they ended on the last one. What would you do if you're a team playing against Green Bay Packers and you look up and find out they're the number 1 running team in football as to this point in the league? What's the first thing you're going to want to do, Ty?
Oh, you got to stop the run.
You got to stop the run.
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 You got to stop the run. What's the first play we played? First play action pass. Boom. We play right into they are ready. They're guessed wrong. That's all it takes. One guess, one wrong guess, and the whole thing unravels, baby. That's exactly how it went down. It was beautiful. little pass to Jaden Reed. Mayhew, what are your thoughts on some plays there? I mean, I thought there were so many good ones, but what do you feel? What was the play that really got you going?
Yeah, I think offensively, a couple of huge third downs that like definitely stood out. I mean, we could talk about a multitude of plays, but for me, the one that really, really stood out was a play that we've had a really difficult time running for what feels like forever for me, and that's the screen pass to Emmanuel Wilson, and what I believe was like the third quarter for like a 35-yard TD. And this showcased it was a team touchdown. Okay, it was the offensive line doing their job, getting out in front of it. It was wide receivers blocking down the field, and it was the vision and patience. Anybody go back and rewatch that play. That is a textbook screen pass to the house. I lost my goddamn mind when that happened, and I really felt like the game wasn't slipping away, but it was what I thought was the turning point. Ty, how about you?
Man, my big play is definitely the Christian Watson first quarter elevator catch. I thought it was Romeo Doubs. That's how good of a catch that was. I thought it was Doubs.
It's like you really wanted to get the ball.
Yeah. We get it right a lot. We get it right a lot. We make a lot of right calls. You can trust our opinions and our insight. I may have been wrong about Christian Watson. He may be worth keeping. That catch, I just want to be on the record having eaten that crow that I'm sorry, Christian Watson. Turns out you were good after all.
And this is the same guy that loved Alan Lazard, folks. And I got to say that Watson has been blocking like an animal this entire year. Regardless of the catches that he's been doing, he is making a difference in that run blocking. So it's been beautiful to watch. But man, you're right. Skying for that ball, just grabbing that over someone's head, like that's.
I mean, we know he's fast.
Yeah, we know he's fast. Maybe just do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I agree. Chazzy, I don't need to ask, but what was the play of the game for me?
It was Ja, baby. Ja got that pick fucking 6, bro. He gave me the bro. Pick 6. He beat that fucking receiver to it, and he was high stepping his way like a goddamn drum major all the way home, baby. And I don't know if you know this, that was his first pick 6 in the NFL since fucking high school. Amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty great. And I feel like no one needed a pick 6 in the NFL more than Jair Alexander to change that storyline. He could have just gotten an interception and gone down, but the returning it to him and getting points on the board from his play, it means a lot to this team. It means a lot to this defense, and it means a lot for his play moving forward.
And he's been my standout player. I was like, this is the year. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. So I just want to watch him continue to build on that momentum against the Vikings.
Chaz has literally got a pair of binoculars just watching Jair Alexander's every single move on defense. He's unaware of anything else that happened. So this is a really exciting moment for him and everyone. I want to go into a little bit about the coaching, if it's okay. Our coaching versus their coaching. Guys, this is what dominance looks like. It's not just physical, it's mental dominance. And that's what we saw in this game. Man, this is how you're supposed to play football. You're supposed to look like one thing and then do something else. And you get them all guessing in one direction because it seems so obvious that then they have to assume the next time, well, that's too obvious. I got to go over here. And it's like, no, dipshit, we're running where everybody's blocking. What are you doing? It was a wonderful display of watching a team that hoped they had it right go out there and realize they're not really at the same caliber as us. And also, I got to say, our defensive coach, guys, regardless of the stats, regardless of anything else, he smelled blood in the water. He saw that right tackle. That guy was a sack of dog shit. He was terrible. And guess who? The only guy in the league worse than him was his backup. And once they benched him, he's like, we got to go get all the stats we can right now, guys. I'm sorry. We're going to do all the stunts. This guy's going to be swimming in fucking confusion. That's exactly what happened. Everyone on that offensive line coach got fired. Everybody's getting canned because they look like they did not belong. And instead of playing down to our opponent, like we have so many times in my lifetime of Packers fandom, we stomped on their fucking neck. Thank God we act like a football team. And if this is the trend, we should not lose to bad teams this year. And that's not the story we had last year. We lost to some bad teams and we won to some good teams. For me, it's all coaching. And I feel like that we've been waiting to see what they can do. And I think right now there's no holding back. I think they're showing you how they can outsmart you, how they can outthink you, how deep this playbook actually can go, what they learned in their entire career, how they can bring it back. This is a collaboration that we have not seen in my lifetime since probably Mike Holmgren on this team, where I've seen a head coach that really had the team in the palm of his hand. And that quarterback of that team with Mike Holmgren could not read. So that was not going to work as smooth as it did this week. I want to get into some players here, if it's okay with you guys.
No.
I'm just feeling like if we don't talk about Malik Willis, this might be our last chance. If Jordan Love starts next week and he keeps playing, this was Malik Willis's career right here, these 2 games. And if that's all the sample size I have to go on, which it is, guys, I think we got ourselves a real winner here. Mayhew, by chance, do you have Malik Willis's stats in front of you? You can dig that out for me. I just feel like he, regardless of what those stats were, he played so balanced. And there were a handful of throws in that game. Guys, these are big-time throws. These are not easy balls. This is not something that anyone can do. The first half, it was an extension onto last week's playbook. The second half was our actual playbook. And guess what? He was executing it in 3 weeks. This guy learned one of the most complicated offenses in football and was able to pretty much execute it flawlessly. He didn't make any real errors per se. He didn't make any bad throws. He didn't make any bad decisions. He tucked it when I think that makes sense. He made positive plays out of pretty much every opportunity. I mean, I really feel like in terms of a backup quarterback, what more do you want than an athletic dude that can do what he's told and can zip it 35 yards? Mayhew, how many yards did he actually get?
Oh, T-Bone, you're absolutely right. It's another week of ultimate efficiency as a QB. Our boy went 13 for 19 for 202 yards through the air, okay, for a quarterback rating of 120.9. What you have to understand is 3 of those incompletions were actually drops, by the way. But it doesn't stop there. Rushing the ball, he was our lead rusher for the day. Man had 6 attempts for 73 yards, averaging 12.2. And just could do no wrong on the day. It's absolutely incredible. And if he were to just stop now, he might be Packer Hall of Fame material, I'm pretty sure. Top quarterback in the league as far as overall passer rating throughout the past 2 weeks.
That's incredible. And also, again, historically, you guys, this guy's in the record books. You know how many quarterbacks? He's the only backup quarterback to start a home opener at Lambeau Field ever. We've only had our franchise starter as a quarterback start that home opener. We've been very fortunate as Green Bay Packers to not have our quarterback be out by the end of week 1 when we might have a week 2 open. That was the situation this year. Also, if you look at the every 100 wins for the Green Bay Packers, it is nothing but Hall of Fame names, or at least a franchise quarterback, a Lynn Dickey, even Magic Man. And then number 800, Malik Willis. So like this guy is part of our history. There, you can't take those stats away. There's nothing he can do to take those wins and make them into losses. Guys, I think we have the backup quarterback of the future. And if we can continue to develop him, he might be a real trade option. Okay? Yep.
Just one last thing to throw away, T-Bone. He also completed passes to 7 different receivers, which not only shows his capability, but ties into what we're talking about with Matt LaFleur, understanding how to just play the game of football, spread the ball around, make life miserable for other defenses.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm loving it, guys. I am absolutely loving it. Ty, who was the guy of the game that you had your eye on, you thought was maybe underappreciated, or maybe people aren't talking about? I'm very curious. You got a way of finding them. Who's the one that you were looking at?
I am in love with Preston Smith.
Oh,
I think he was the difference. I think he was the difference. He came on, anchored the defense, just like we needed him to. And then at the end, when it was time to eat, he was feasting. I think 2 sacks. Was he part of the forced fumble? No, Preston Smith was definitely just underappreciated is the right word, Tyson. He really is.
Yeah.
He took a pay cut coming into this so that we could put great guys around him. I mean, it was a Tom Brady-esque move. I mean, it was a big cut. And it was because he wants to be competitive. He wants to win. He wants guys on that defensive line that are going to thrash quarterbacks and make him better. This guy is a team guy. And I'm so glad he had such a big game last week.
Tom Brady of overweight linebackers. You're right. I love it. Go ahead.
Just to tie onto that slightly, with that second sack, Preston Smith actually became the 6th all-time sack leader for Green Bay Packers, sitting behind only Aaron Kapman, Tim Harris, Reggie White, KGB, and Clay Matthews. That's a pretty impressive feat. Also, only doing it in 6 total seasons.
Yeah, but the guy doesn't miss games. The best ability is availability. And this motherfucker is out there every game looking like he's not even trying and somehow like just falling into a fucking sack. Like I've never seen a guy with a slower get off to have higher production than fucking this lineman. And I love it. I'll take it all day. I'll be honest. I don't care how he does it. I don't care if he's throwing sand in people's eyes. I just like the way he plays the game.
I mean, did you see how their quarterback started with the eye makeup? Did you guys see that? Like he came out all like hard as shit with like his Maori makeup on, and by the end, he looked like some sort of hardcore porn-esque blowjob video where it's just like and just crying black makeup down his face, and I was like, Jesus, guys, like 8 guys are gonna like bum rush this dude. Like he looked fucking haggard, bro.
Like his face had caved in a little bit.
A little bit, man.
It looked a little different. Yeah, great eye, Chaz.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm into, baby.
That's it. You nailed it.
Packers and hard porn.
Mayu, what was it for you? Who's good? What got your attention?
Fellas, I was trying to establish one player, and as I went through it all, for me it was the whole goddamn defense. 8 total sacks. We got 2 for Preston. We got 2 for Devontae Wyatt. Spread throughout the rest of the team. Xavier McKinney interception. Ja with a pick 6. This defense is starting to buy into the philosophy that Hafley's putting into place. And for me, we're only 3 games in. We're in our infancy here. Like they're still learning like the basis of it, where it's only going to grow and stack. And man, come end of season, the rest of the league better look the fuck out, because this defense feels legit to me.
And these stats we're putting up, man, this is going to fuck up everyone's scouting report. You cannot look past 3 interceptions in 3 games by their free safety. You have to respect that. They're not taking deep shots on us, guys. That you just can't. You have to respect the run when we're the number 1 run in football. You know what I mean? You just have to. So I love not only what we're doing, the stats that we're actually putting up is forcing their game plan, and it plays to our favor. It plays to our favor. Mayhew, what are your thoughts on the Narv Dog report? Because he almost, I mean.
No, well, yeah. Let's just look at the stat board here. My man had a perfect day, going 3 for 3 on field goals, 3 for 3 on extra points. Had a long of 47, what you would call a perfect day. I don't think there's anything more to talk about. I think you guys should show a little bit of respect, and we should maybe just move on quickly. Yeah? No?
No, I'm buying in. I'm buying in. All 3 of those field goals, right? Not even close to not being down the middle. I'm starting to believe, Mayhew. You might just sell this Narv Dog. You might just be right on this one.
Chaz, you look like you have something to say.
Laces out, baby. Laces out is all I got to say. And here's the thing. I know that missed field goal didn't actually happen or count, but in 3 games with 3 misses, I'm going to say one thing. I will be on board if we get through this next game and he does not miss 1. If he misses 1, He's gone.
Yeah, he didn't. It didn't count.
You watched the
But
plunge.
I'd already slammed on the counter, and walked out of the room before he heard that information. He was in the garage freaking out and breaking glasses. Where I'd be like, Chess, calm down. It didn't count.
Nope.
But he was already all worked up, and that's the thing. You can't toy with our emotions like that, Narv Dog. Just don't miss them, Just go right down the middle,
Right
like
down
we
the middle.
talked about. Right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Even if they commit a penalty, just make it anyway. Because Chaz, he's sensitive. He's a sensitive guy. Okay.
Yeah, Chaz.
So-
May you die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. Okay.
Would you like a cookie, son?
It feels like a good spot for
I
a commercial
got
break,
that.
boys.
Yeah, it seems the natural
That's a
spot
solid
for a
Narv Dog
commercial
report,
break.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds perfect. We'll be right back after this.
Does your life change once a month because of your period? Still using pads? Let me tell you straight. Tampax can change the way you feel about your period. Tampax tampons protect internally, so you can feel cleaner. No pad can do that. Feeling cleaner is more comfortable, plus more women use Tampax than any other tampon or pad. And that's something. Remember, there's a feeling with Tampax. It can actually change the way you feel about your period. Thanks for staying here with Two Dads and a Chaz at TAMPACKS.com.
Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Here's the thing, man. I'm actually full of anxiety. I gotta buy my wife a car. I gotta go car shopping, and I am no good at it. I am the guy who's like, the guy's like, this is the number, and I'm like, can I get a discount? And he's like, no, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Can you throw in some oil changes? And he's like, probably
Oh,
not.
No.
So anyway, I'm good at the shopping, but I'm not any good at the dealing. You got any strategies for me?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. Now, first off, you need to understand these car dealers, these aren't real people. These salesmen, these are drug addicts, all right? They're trying to swindle you. You got to not look at them as people. You got to understand the monster you're dealing with as the used car salesman, all right? Now, here's the thing, guys. This is a tried and true method that I've used multiple times on car sales, car purchases. However, it will destroy your life from anywhere from 1 to 3 months. But in the end, you're going to get a really good deal on a car. It goes like this. Every car dealership, it seems to be all near each other, happen to know who works at the other dealership. They know the top sales guy. They certainly know the sales managers. They know each other. They're all drinking. They're all doing coke together. They all got a weird rivalry going here. Okay. So all you need to do, Ty, you don't need to ask for that deal. No. You let them eat each other alive. You just need to know the name of 4 to 5 sales managers, which means you're going to need to go in. You're going to need to scout out a car. You're going to need to know ahead of time what they're charging online for that car. And you need to find 3 other versions of that car, even if it's not as nice, for a cheaper rate that you can reference, because they're not going to look up on it because they're cokeheads. So what they're going to do is you're going to get in there and you're going to say, hey, I'm interested in this car, but here's the thing. I know how this works. You guys are going to get a big old bonus at the end of the month if you sell enough cars. And I know one of these places over here is 1 car away at the end of the month of making that bonus. I want to be that guy that gets you there, but you're going to need to give me the best damn deal around. And I've already talked to Jake over at Don Miller, and he knows what's going on. I also talked to Derry over at Kia. So I don't have a lot of time today, and they don't want you to walk out. And you're like, I'm going to go, but here's my number. I want you to call me back and tell me what's the best you can do on this car, because I'm going to get the best deal on a car. And I would love for you to get that purchase. Then you go around to the other place. You tell them you just talked to this guy. Yeah, they're giving me a better deal. They're throwing in an oil package. They're throwing in an oil change package and a tire package. So I don't know if you guys can throw that in. Maybe we can talk about it. Before you know it, they're like, you don't want to buy from Terry. Oh, that guy's a piece of shit. Their service over there is no good. They start wringing out all the dirty laundry, start attacking each other. Before you know it, you just show them an email from one of the other guys, and they'll be calling you 4 times a night, lowering the number, because they'll lose $10,000 to beat Terry. And that's all you need to know. But it might take 2-3 months of your life being bombarded.
All right, so
with people.
the last sleep that I got, that's the last sleep I'm going to get for weeks. It's just going to be car mission, I guess.
Good deal, though. You get a
Yeah.
real good deal.
All right.
Real good deal.
I'll do it. I'll let you know how it works out.
Yeah. We talking Green Bay Packers football.
Hey, guys, real quick question for you. If you are Matt LaFleur, what are you doing? Are you starting Jordan Love this week? Are you how do you best put the team in a position to win against the Vikings? Is it starting Jordan Love? Is it running our old offense? Is it running this new running offense? Any takes on anybody? Mayhew. No hands. Yeah, anyway, I'll try it again one more time. I'll get it shorter. It's too long. You didn't like it. I'll try it again. One more time. Big dick energy. Guys, real quick question. How can Matt LaFleur put this team in the best position to win going up against the Vikings? We're kind of rolling right now. Malik's kicking ass. We're running the ball like a fucking Berry ball Wisconsin team. I just want to know, how would you handle this? Ty, what would you do in this situation going against the Vikings? What's your strategy?
Oh, if Love's available, you go with Love. He gives you the best chance to win. It's a division opponent. This might mean playoffs. This might be a big game down the line. You put Love in, and you just keep playing psychological warfare with your next opponent. He did it against
that run attack, the same kind of thing where you're with them, or you
100%.
You don't just go back to week one's offense where we're just trying to spread the ball and get the run through the pass. This is the traditional Packers start. I like where your head's at. I just want to make sure I'm getting the answer right.
Yeah, you start Love and you pound the rock, and you get that production out of all of these other key pieces, these receivers. I love when Reed runs the ball. You don't have to put it all on Jordan Love's shoulders. You've got enough guys that can carry it for him. So you can bring them back, but you don't have to put them in the deep end. You know what I mean? If the Packers can control this game like they've controlled their previous opponents.
Ground and pound town. I love it. Mayhew, I know you love a high-flying offense. You feel the same way?
I do. Look, here, it's not going to be a popular thought, but I mean this sincerely. Like, we don't know how Jordan's knee is actually doing. If he is not 100%, I'm comfortable sitting this guy down. There's too much at stake. We're 2-1. Worst case scenario, 2-2. We'll figure the rest out. If this guy can play, hell yeah, you get him in there, because all we know about this Vikings defense that I've seen is they love to blitz. They love to confuse. And as much as I like Malik Willis, I don't think he's got the processing skills to take advantage of that. So if we want to come away with a W and Love is available, yeah, just run what we've been doing.
I agree with both of you guys. I'm sorry. I know the conflict is good for the show, but I think that right now there's not much more positive momentum you can get from Malik Willis. And I feel like our team supported him and set him up. I don't remember a Green Bay Packers offense that ran the ball that crisp, that was able to execute RPOs, even though we never do that was able to execute all this stuff that we had just thrown out in a game plan, a fresh offensive playbook, and they did. This is Patriot shit. This is what the Patriots did. They were good at what you were bad at. If that's the case, right now we are a dominant run team, and I wouldn't want to go up against us with all the misdirection we use and all the different styles of offensive linemen we have. I think you do start Jordan Love, but you run the fucking rock. And you force them to let us throw by them stopping the run. And as much as it's going to wear them down. I just don't think that we can go out there. You don't want to get in a shootout with a team that is Justin Jefferson is the way I look at it. I don't want to be. Our punter's exceptional, by the way. We're not talking about wheeling and dealing over here, who is just punting the fucking laces off the ball right now, just doinking it right on the 1-inch yard line. But I prefer it if he didn't do anything. I want us to just score every time. And they never, he just gets to hang out and put some instant tanner on and wait for next week,
Maybe this
I say start Malik.
Okay, there you go. He says Thermo Lake. He doesn't know shit. All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Yeah. We talking Green Bay Packers football.
I don't know where
This
this
is-
fits, but I did look up the 9 quarterbacks that have started a Packers football game since Brett Favre. So since 1992, Brett Favre. Well, let's see. How many of them can you name?
Mikowski. Kidding. That was before.
Yeah, what did what's his name? Southern is little. No, he never got a start because Favre started that whole time. So it'll be Favre.
From 1992 to 2007, Brett Favre started every football game for the Green Bay Packers.
That's
He
'cause
owns
he's still
that 15
fucking me,
years.
You know,
You're saying who else
Fucking me.
Yeah,
Hashtag
there.
Ferguson.
So there have been. All right, hold on. Let me hit this.
is
There have been 9 starting quarterbacks since 1990. 9 quarterbacks have started a football game for the Green Bay Packers since 1992. Name them.
Brett Favre.
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers.
Correct.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is the
Matt
next
Flynn.
one. Matt Flynn, that's right.
The guy that went to the Seahawks.
That's Matt Flynn. Then you get who's that one guy who
Remember-
played for us? He played for the Badgers. Come on, help me out, guys.
Remember when Harris intercepted the ball when he was like,
You're on it.
we're gonna
It's Scott
receive it, we're gonna
Tolzien.
win.
Scott Tolzien?
Scott
I was
Tolzien.
at that
Then
game,
then
dude.
you got
Holy
one hump for Hundley. You got Scott. No, we do that one guy. Seneca Wallace got one start, played for like 2
You are
plays,
on
and got hurt.
fire,
I'm fucking
Tyson.
good, guys. I'm fucking good. Okay. Then we said Matt Flynn. Didn't we?
Twice. We
Okay,
said it
still
twice.
Matt Flynn.
We're just gonna
Flynn
say
again.
Love hasn't been said
Jordan
yet,
Love.
but there we
And the
are.
Malik Willis.
And there's
the Malik
one-
Willis.
And there's one more. No,
More.
one more.
Hang on.
One more.
Is there one more?
Who was
No, there
Who
isn't.
was-
That's it. The other guys are preseason.
Scott Tolzien?
And that was it.
Yeah, the other guys, the other 4, there are 4 others to start in a preseason game. But that is the 9 guys. That is the 9 guys who have started for the Green Bay Packers in
Nobody looked better between Justin Harrell. Didn't they get
30
one? Did he get a
32
start?
years.
Didn't that Harrell guy get a start? He didn't, huh?
Nope.
Christopher-
The preseason starters are Kaiser in 2018, Craig Nall in 2004.
Craig.
I mean, it's
It's
like we're thin on like even that, but like what an incredible thing that the Bears have gone through 9 quarterbacks in 2 seasons. Some years we barely had. A lot of those guys have started 1 or 2 games. Hundley had that little stretch, and that was we all couldn't believe
Yeah, he sucked.
how many games he
He just
played.
sucked.
But yeah, no, that's it. Willis is the 9th.
Wow. Some people are just lucky. Some people just get all the luck, and that's us in the quarterback rooms.
Some people just get all the love.
It's true. And that's us. Jordan Love.
Yep.
We'll be back after this.
Maybe there's your tangent zone.
Ty, I do like the idea of like guessing, like fun facts like that. That's
Yeah.
a fun
Yeah.
little man.
Mhm.
Tyson crossing those off.
Dude,
Like
the
nobody's.
Seneca Wallace, I thought for
Yeah,
sure
that
I
was
was
a good
going to
one.
have to come
That
in with
was
the
a
help.
Oh, I knew the Seneca Wallace one. That was the one that was I knew that. I was like, that one's the sneaky one, but I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I didn't.
And Tolzien, I totally
was my
forgot that
quarterback?
Tolzien had started a football game for the Packers. Like that
He was great between the 40s. No one was better between the 40s than Scott Tolzien. He just couldn't get it done anywhere but 40 to 40. But man,
he owned that logo. That logo
Yeah.
was his.
Yeah, that's his area. That's his zone. You know, don't let me get into my zone. Don't let me get into my zone. That's it, right?
Yeah. We talking Green Bay Packers football.
Real quick, guys, anything left in your glass?
I got a little something. For those of you who haven't had an opportunity to actually read it, and Chaz, I don't know if we can maybe attach that to this show, a little link or something like that. But Aaron Jones he wrote a letter to Packer fans, and this is a lengthy letter, gentlemen. I don't want to get too much into the detail, but it's emotional. It is classy. I was like literally tearing up like halfway through it, where I got nothing but love for this guy. Even though he's going to be on the other side of the field come Sunday, he's always going to be a Packer in my heart. So I wanted to point that one out.
That's great. That's great. And I connecting to the heartstrings, Mayhew, classy guys and people that meant a lot to this franchise. Aaron Jones, definitely at the top of the list. Another one, guys, and it's checkered past and all this, but it's all water under the bridge. Brett Favre was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and I want to send out my severe love and appreciation for his sacrifices for my fandom. I still consider him my legitimate father, and if he showed up today, I would throw a ball with him right away. So I just want to say, Brett Favre, you'll always be my quarterback, baby, even if you fucking scam old poor people out of all the money. I still will never forget all those games. It made my childhood. I love that guy.
Big deal.
Amen.
Amen, indeed. I came across a video the other day with 60 seconds of Brett Favre throwing lasers. That was the title of this thing. And he would be at the 7-yard line, you know what I mean? And throw just like breaking
So
guys'
hard.
fingers. So like, yeah, just no remorse. He was legend.
They are not allowed to be that guy anymore. And so we were very lucky to be alive at a magical time in the 90s when they propped up stars and hid all their issues and they were heroes regardless of who they actually were. And I mean, the legend of this guy goes far beyond the football field.
Far
Yeah.
beyond.
So yeah, guys, to Brett.
To Brett.
Yeah. We talking Green Bay Packers football.
And welcome back. So now we got something very special for you folks. Our very own Vikings insider, the man with the plan who knows everything about this team, Mr. Andy Reich, ladies and gentlemen. Andy, thank you so much for coming out. Say hi to the people.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me. I'm as bald as I was last time, but hopefully I got a little wiser.
That's good. Yeah, it's usually how that goes, I hear. I wouldn't know. I'm pretty dumb and full of hair and very attractive. So I don't know what that's like. But everybody's got their own problems, For one, you guys don't have a lot of problems. You guys are 3-0. Listen, we've been doing a lot of things. We got a lot of issues going on with the Packers, a lot of positives. We have not had time to look up and see what the heck's going on up north. And it turns out the Vikings are 3-0. Give me the rundown of this team. Is this a real 3-0 or a bullshit 3-0, Reach?
Yeah, it's a real one. At the risk of sounding like a homer, there's 2 MVPs of this team. The head coach, Kevin O'Connell, who runs the offense. This guy's 17-8 since he's taken over when he has his starting quarterback. Now, injuries happen in the NFL, so you want to be fair with that, right? You don't want to pass the buck, so to speak. But at the same token, they had 5 starting quarterbacks last year. That's a lot to replace. So when Kevin O'Connell's running the ship and the chips are in place, their 2 deep is in place. They're winning games. And on the second, the second most valuable player there is actually the defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. The Vikings have one thing in common with the Kansas City Chiefs. They got a D coordinator that no one wants to hire as a head coach. The guy's been blackballed, right? He sued an NFL team for racism. Okay. So no one's going to hire him. No one's going to hire him, right? He's as bald as I am. So this guy's just got to run a defense. That's it. X's and O's, smash mouth. They blitz more than anyone in the NFL. They lead the NFL in sacks. All the money they saved from losing Cousins and Danielle Hunter, which is about $80 million, they reinvested into Aaron Jones. Their running game struggled last year. Their defense, they reinvested in players that fit the scheme. So I mean, they're really well built. It feels real, but they're one quarterback injury, away from being a bunch of losers again. That's how it goes. So we want to stay healthy, but if we do, we'll be competitive, and I think we'll be a playoff team.
It was a really nice passive-aggressive jab mentioning Aaron Jones the way you did in passing, like it's no big deal. Obviously, you know how to get under our skin. The very best, asset of being a Vikings fan is saying stuff like that. So, yeah, no, I get it. I'll be honest. I like your team with Kirk Cousins, and then after that, it felt like a lot of randomness. So, This is a new year and a new you starring Sam Darnold. What are your thoughts on Sam Darnold? Are you buying this shit, or are you waiting for him to see ghosts? Because he has a history of looking like a first round world beater and then just kind of disintegrating into maybe a risky backup. What are your thoughts, Reese?
Yeah, that's super fair. So I'll give you the good, bad, the ugly. The good is I kind of agree with Bill Belichick, right? I was kind of studying up for tonight.
No one
And I think Belichick said it best. The only people that didn't like Sam Darnold were the New York Jets. Everyone else liked his arm talent. He was the first pick in the draft for a reason. Carolina, who's very popular, the Niners, he was very popular, etc. So the guy's got talent. He studies hard, and he just needed a break. However, I've watched these 3 games, and in every single one of them, there's been a bonehead play where he's underhanding it before he gets sacked and it gets returned for a touchdown, or he throws it and it bounces off someone's head into a linebacker. And it hasn't hurt us yet because the other team, there's a flag thrown or the other team dropped it. And so what I'm saying is there are game-changing plays and mistakes he makes that will catch up to us if we don't clean it up. But Kevin O'Connell is a really good quarterback guy, right? He's got a huge team of all-stars on offense. He calls the plays. He knows what he's doing. He can guard and protect these guys from themselves. And don't underestimate Josh McCown. Josh McCown is the quarterback coach in Minnesota, but he was one of the backup quarterbacks in San Francisco and the LA Rams when Darnold was there training. So those guys are buddies. It's like a Doug Peterson Favre situation, except different people and talent and haircuts and the whole thing. But he's kind of got a tiger in the room sticking up for him, right? So I think Darnold's going to come back to earth a little bit. He leads the NFL in touchdowns right now. That's not gonna hold. So it's gonna come back down to earth. But if he's a top 15 quarterback, we'll be fine.
So you're telling me he's due for some interceptions. I'm hearing you loud and clear. So to me, it feels like every year in the draft, there's like one quarterback who's like a Brett Favre quarterback. And it's weird. In the last like 35 years, there's only been one successful quarterback that's played like Brett Favre. His name is Brett Favre. So I would be concerned that Sam Darnold is going to go out there and do some Favre shit, and it's going to end the way Favre shit ends, which is an interception. So we'll see what happens, though. I like the balls. I say go for it. I say throw in triple coverage. Don't be a pussy. Get it in there, Zing it. No, I hope they do. Aaron Jones, now I haven't been watching. Now he's a deceptive runner. The way he runs is bizarre. I don't know how you guys are blocking, but Reese, you remember my car in high school? I had that big white boat, and like you go down the highway, just kind of like even though Aaron Jones is fast, he kind of like glides like an old car, I just noticed that now that we have Josh Jacobs, and this dude just stops like a joystick. Like he just full speed, just zigzag, some Barry Sanders shit. And I'm just like, whoa, that's not how Aaron Jones would have done it. He would have just kind of closed his eyes and screamed and just kind of weaved through that situation into like a 6-yard fall. And we'd be like, yeah, he's not hurt. Okay. So do you think he's going to make it the full year? And are you happy with his performance in the first 3 games?
Yeah, so that's like a perfect analogy. I believe you had a Lincoln. I had a Lincoln Town Car
Dodge
as well.
Diplomat, Reese. Dodge Diplomat 87, best car ever made. According to my grandpa.
Fair enough.
He gave it to me.
I had a Lincoln Town Car, which was had well over 200,000 miles on it, and I got it as a hand-me-down. But it floated, right? It was the last box model, and it floated like Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones' running style is like an old, sweet jazz song, right? It just keeps taking you through and glides you through the hole. So what I like about Jones is that he's healthy. Because we have a very capable backup in Ty Chandler, who's really good, and Aaron Jones is much better, right? And he's good in the pass game, he's good in the pass protection game, and he's good for a throwing offense. But the minute he gets hurt, we're not very deep. So I don't care if he gets 100 yards a game. As long as he gets 70 and he can play half the snaps and stay healthy, he's a good veteran presence. I've been very pleased with it. But if he goes down, we're thin at running back.
It's like an old guy that's good at sex, you know? It's like you can't count on it for long, but enjoy it while it's there, you know?
Well said.
You guys got any questions for Reese? I feel like I'm knocking it out of the park here. I hope you guys got some as good as me. Anyone else got a question about the Vikings? Mayhew, please, you.
Reese, I've been incredibly impressed by the defense. Like you said, Brian Flores, this is like year 3 for him. I think this defense understands the philosophy. They're playing fast. They're playing smart. Like you said, they're blitzing almost like 65%. I think it was last game. My God, they opened against San Fran. And Purdy actually came up to him after I read this, where he's just like, man, your defense is fucking crazy. You don't know where they're coming from. Do you think that this is like, hey, we got 3 games now, a little bit too much is coming on tape, where eventually it's going to get figured out? Because for me, I'm looking at the scores, I'm looking at who you played. The defense is giving you every opportunity. You guys are scoring early, and you're kind of walking away. But do you think you're going to get figured out at some point? Maybe on Sunday.
I think it could certainly happen. We haven't been challenged defensively as much because you referenced a few things. One, we lead the NFL in sacks. We blitz more than anybody. But we also are 3rd in the NFL with average margin of victory. You know, we're winning games on average by 19 points a game. So we're able to pin our ears back as a blitzing team and blitz nonstop, right? So we haven't been in a game where we're behind by 7 in the 4th quarter and we're defending against the run exclusively, or where it's a 3-point game that's ping-ponging back and forth. So I do think I wouldn't say exposed, because I think we're a top 10 D, if not a top 5 defense with our personnel and our coaching. But I do think it's going to normalize, right? Like at some point, we're going to be in a close game, and you can't just blitz every play because you're up by 18 and you got nothing to lose, right? So fair point, and I do think the Packers could neutralize them very well with the running game.
I think I'm just excited here because, as you're alluding to, I'm looking at this roster, Rishi. I don't know a lot of these cats, so he pulled together what he thinks makes sense. He's getting the most out of his players. You talked about spending money in the offseason. They did bring in Stephon Gilmore, I think, which was a nice addition. But I'm so intrigued at the chess match that's going to happen on Sunday, because I think LaFleur, man, he's got a lot of tricks in the bag that you guys aren't used to an offense like this. So I think it's going to be fun for both sides.
So is Love going to play? I have my own feelings on this, but you guys are the insiders. Is Love going to play? Do you want him to play against the team that blitzes more than anyone in the NFL?
You get it.
It's a great question. The latest I saw update is, you know how they just feed you stuff on Twitter, like wherever you're looking, where it's like they're very optimistic that he might start. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. Reish, full disclosure, I don't know if this is the week. I don't think this is the time to maybe throw him out there if he's not feeling 100%. But at the same time, I think he's the best chance of winning.
He's starting. That's a fact. He's coming in. He's fucking starting. What are you talking about? Jordan Love should have started last week. You see his face on the sideline? Are you fucking crazy? This guy was freaking out. He's been like, guys, how many jumping jacks do you need to prove to you? You know, he's like, Giannis, get me back on the fucking field now. So I just think that's just my read on it. But I think he's going
to. So if I may, I don't know. Neither team is going to win the division or make the playoffs Sunday. So if I were a betting man, which I have been occasionally and often, I would wager that he would not start, because I would not bring him back against a team that blitzes more with a limp knee than anyone in the NFL. Right? I don't see a huge upside to that when you guys are going to be super good with a backup for another week, and then you bring them back against maybe some lesser competition. So just my 2 cents.
Okay. Anyone else have any sense on this? Because I know I got to take, but I want to let someone else have a crack at this pinata first. Ty, I'm going your way.
Oh man, I don't know. Part of me says that this injury is actually statistically not a big length of time. Most guys who sustain a sprained MCL come back within a week or two. So for him to already be out the 2 weeks, I mean, he's kind of met the expectation. We think MCL, we hear MCL and we panic. A tear is a big deal. A sprain for a 22-year-old, 24-year-old world-class athlete, he might have been ready to go last week. And LaFleur just didn't think he needed it against that Titans team.
Right.
Saw an opportunity. I mean, anytime you can give a guy an early break, that pays dividends down at the end of the season. That's one less week of hell he's been through. However, I would like to see him start. If it is a nasty defense, then we're going to need Jordan Love to dice him up. Willis has done a good job game managing and not losing us the game. But soft defensive opponents. I think you need the guy for this one. It's a division. We're not going to seal the division this weekend, but this might very well come down to deciding the division. And I think you got to put your top guy in. Anytime you play the division, that's playoffs.
So you want Love, to be clear. So you
I want
to play
Love. I want to see Love. If he's as ready to go and everything's kosher, if he's limping, no. But if he's like, boy, that was a bad tweak, I'm glad that's over. Yeah, there's no reason to sit him. We know what we got in Malik. That's good to know. We put that in our back pocket should we need it, or fourth quarter blowout, hopefully. But I'm thinking, no, you start Love. You start Love because Love's going to be the one that's going to be able to take down this defense.
Okay. I like it, guys. And I'm ready for Love. I feel like, the song is right. I'm ready for love. You know what I'm talking about? That's how I feel right now. Bad company, till the day I die, every day. No, really, I feel like at this point we've already dunked on the league, right? And we talked about this earlier in the episode. But really, the thing about it is that we've already came in and took a guy that someone cast aside for a 7th round pick, turned it into 2 weeks of not only success in wins, but we kind of made a trend that the league is following. Everyone's doing the run game. Everyone's like, the run game's back. Well, who came out with a high school run offense? Who had the balls to do that? LaFleur. And it worked so well, in fact. The second week, we did even more of it with a little bit of a change. And then by the second half, Malik Willis was running our offense. Like, he can run our offense and he can make NFL throws. And he is one of probably 20 people alive that could throw that ball exactly on time where it needs to be. So, I think he showed that to the world. This guy is not only a good prospect, he could potentially be a main guy, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. At this point, if I'm LaFleur, I want that conversation to end right there. I want everybody thinking the Packers are sitting on gold. Love comes back. He's hungry. He wanted to play the first week. He didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
He sat there and wanted to play the second week because this guy's arguably outplaying him at times. And he wants back on the field, dude. He wants back on the field. He wants to play. He wants to and we need to get him warmed up. But you guys have no idea what we're going to do. I mean, it doesn't matter what quarterback we come in. You guys have no choice but to see what we're doing and then make your best guess, because if it's Malik, which offense are we going to run? The offense that we were supposed to run in the first place, the second half offense from last game, or that entire game before his offense? You guys are kind of, and that's what we showed against the Titans last week, is that if we can get you going backwards and guessing wrong one time, we got your ass. If you guess wrong one time, you're going to guess wrong every time. We're like a fucking street hustler in the ball game, and we're like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? It's a trick, fucker. Give me your money. That's where we're at. So I think
we know what the Vikings are going to do. They're going to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. This guy is the new Randy Moss. I hate how good he is so much. It's really pissing me off that he's He is. He's the new. So I'm not looking forward to the 5 or 7 times this guy gashes us on Sunday. You think there's any chance, Reese? You think there's any chance that he like sprains his ankle slam dunking a basketball between now and then, or like?
Hey, they have some kind of magic elixir water up there where their number one wide receiver never gets fucking hurt ever.
Never.
Like Randy Moss didn't have one fucking injury his entire career there. I don't see him get hit once. This guy, what is going on up there? They give you guys some kind of magic force field. Meanwhile, any guy comes in and like MVS on the Packers, his second play got decapitated and was like never the same. Like you guys, I don't understand how you guys salvage these guys. Simeon Rice shows up and he's like untouchable. This guy was a fucking China doll, shows up in Minnesota, has a season and a half ball pro, and he gets hurt one time. He's done.
No, it's crazy.
I
keep sending Justin Jefferson. I keep sending Justin Jefferson like the old school ATVs, you know, the one with only the one wheel in the front, the 3-wheeler. I'm like, hey man, free. It's on me. You just got to ride it once.
You know, you don't need that. You don't need that
never
shit.
Gets hurt.
Without it. Move the governor.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, so like every franchise kind of has like their thing that they get lucky as shit on, right? And
So
you guys,
ours-
you have Hall of Fame quarterback after Hall of Fame quarterback for like 40 years. And ours is receivers. Like we just churn out stud receivers, right? Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Justin Jefferson, right? All their backups.
I'm guessing just quarterbacks then, or
We just do quarterbacks, I guess. You're right. We got
Pretty much. Quarterback's the most important position, but yeah, you got a few other good ones. Your secondary's usually got a studded safety. Hey, real quick, you made a good point. I wanted to ask you guys about this. Is it me, or were they running the Baltimore Ravens offense in the first half against the Titans, and then they morphed into the Packers offense in the second half?
I think they were running the Middleton Cardinals offense, to be honest. That was Jumbo T, baby. I haven't seen that in college ball, let alone the NFL. Like that was beautiful. I mean, you break it down to the studs, you know what I mean? Let's remodel this motherfucker. Let's get back to basics here, boys. You know, this is how
I thought it was great.
Do a timing block. Let's just get back to it. Our team is I think we're still the number one running team in football right now, which is not the MO of the Green Bay Packers typically. You have no choice with those stats. You have to stop the run, right? You have to. There's no way that's not your entire game plan.
I mean, LaFleur
That's
did prove that he will run it until you stop him. Like he 52 carries or something against the Colts, 54 carries against the Colts. Like this guy's ready to pound the ball. It's going to be interesting to see how the Vikings counterpunch because they know that's his MO now.
And I love that about LaFleur. I love that he says, you know what, we're not going to be perfect at everything, but damn it, we're going to run the ball. And he did that the minute he walked in, even when Rodgers was around, and Rodgers didn't like it, and he didn't care. We're going to run the ball, you know, and I appreciate that. Like it gives you an identity as a football team. And you need an identity or you're swimming in the mass destruction of not knowing who you are. And so I love it, man. I'm a big fan of LaFleur. The other thing I wanted to just touch on, who are your new additions? Like on the Packers, who do I need to know about going into this game that's new to the squad?
Well, you said it right away. The first one you need to worry about, he'll get at least one pick on you, and that's Xavier McKinney. This guy is a difference maker. He allows Jair Alexander to play to his full potential, which is something we've all been waiting for a very long time. And when he does that, he's arguably the best cornerback in all of football. So now we have two guys that are feeding off each other. That's a huge deal. Also, this year, it would seem Devontae Wyatt, this guy is coming on strong. His pressures last week were looking like he looked out of the combine. This is the guy I wanted to draft. This is the guy I jumped up and down in Mayhew's basement when they selected him because I thought he was the best interior defensive lineman in the draft that year. Even though they had some other guys that had a higher ceiling, I don't care. That guy was just better, you know? And as of right now in this new 4-3 scheme, he seems to be a fish in water, whereas like Kenny Clark, believe it or not, seems a little out of sorts. He's still doing a good job, but he's not the elite pass rusher or difference maker. But that role is passed on to someone else at this point, and Slayton's found himself pretty much out of the lineup unless we're running the ball.
That's a good point, Tyson. That's a good point. Like, we've largely done it through development. We have had the additions of McKinney, Jacobs, but really what we're seeing this year is just the guys developing through the last 2 or 3 seasons and really coming into their own and morphing into these starters. We didn't really have to. I mean, we went out and got some pieces. You know, it wasn't a do nothing off season, but really, I mean, I do look at the guys that are coming on strong, and it was guys that were playing last year for the Packers. So, I mean, other than everybody the Titans didn't want. Yeah, Tyson.
We also got Josh Jacobs, who's a pretty big deal. This guy can run the fucking ball. This is a bell cow. We have never had a bell cow since Amon Green on this team that could seriously run the ball 35 times a game and not be broken. You guys aren't going to know about that because your running back cannot do that. And when he does, he's out for the season. So I love him. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying. Also, what's the other big addition, fellas? I feel like there's one I'm forgetting. It's just drafting otherwise. Mayhew?
It's just one big name that you need to know, Reish. Look, I have a feeling this one's going to be pretty tight. It's going to come down to whoever has the ball last, and it's going to come down to kicking. And his name is Braden Narveson. Okay, remember this name. This guy is due for a game-winning kick. He's going to bring it home, and he's going to shut all the haters up, in my opinion. Number 44. It's a strong number. Tyson would agree.
I would not, but I love the guy, and Mayhew has invested a ton of money in a really bad franchise idea with this guy. So we need him to work out. His whole... He put his house up. I told him not to, but he wouldn't listen. And at this point, I'm Narv Dog all the way because I care about him and I like that pool. I don't want that being someone else's pool, the bank, you know. So yeah, I feel like also make sure you check out Narv Dog's hot dog stand, which are going to be located right outside of Reedsburg for their first location. Maybe it was the second one. Is it Rockford, which is weird? It's in Illinois. Location.
Yeah, Oconomowoc. All the classic Wisconsin titles. You know what I mean? But Reish, this is a guy, I was hanging out with him the other day at the Village Green. He's just very relatable. He's very small. He's short, but he's got a good heart, you know? Pick this guy up kind of chunky. Last second, our kicking situation sucked, and he's going to be a hometown hero. I have no doubt.
You know, the name Narveson, I don't know about you guys, but certain names just elicit certain emotions. And every time I hear the word Narveson, I think of about probably 1,000 people that get fired from a company every day with that last name. And
you hear about what happened to Narveson?
I know he struggled a little, and I want the best for him, especially if he's supporting the Village Green. And I like your pool. You know, I mean, I want to go grab a dog at Narv Dogs. But
I can tell you right now, I definitely don't want my anesthesiologist to come and be like, "Hey, I'm Dr. Narveson, and we're going to be providing your anesthesia today." And I'd be like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Yeah, like Narveson concerns me, right? Like, just to be fair, now there is another name you should know. If this comes down to the kickers, we have a kicker named Will Reckland. He's a rookie on Alabama. He is opposite of Narv Dog, that he's hit all his big kicks. But he's a rookie.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
He's a rookie. And he's opening Reichland's ribs right down the street from him, Mayhew. He's taking investments. You can jump ship right now.
I might not have heard that. Did you say Rapison? This guy sounds like a fucking piece of shit to me, Reish. Yeah, I'll take the Narv Dog all day long.
I will say for Chaz's epidural, you might want to stick with that other kicker's name, though. It does sound like a guy that would probably do a good job, hit the spot in the first try.
Yeah, because Narveson sounds like a tunnel. So especially if it's like, you know, one of those situations where you're getting checked on your backside, you don't want an Narv Dog as your
Don't
doctor.
take the Narvison after 4 p.m., bro.
Look, that's fair. Narvison definitely sounds like he's seed his way through medical school. But come on, God damn it. You're all going to be eating your words in about a week here. And Rishi, we plan on bringing you back for next week if you're willing to join us.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'll be in Chicago next week, so I'll have a different background. I'll be at some hotel.
Can I ask you a
From the
question
road. I
for you,
love
Rick?
it.
Sorry.
Are you planning to go to any games this season, bud?
That's a fair question. I don't think I'll make one this year. I really want to get to. I was just in Minnesota 2 weeks ago, and of course, the season had not I was there Tuesday, Wednesday for business, but I have not been to a game at that new stadium, and it's really eating at me. I gotta get out there. It's a beautiful facility. I've been to the pro shop. I've walked around it, right? But there just hasn't been a game when I've been in town. So if I do go to one, it could be in Chicago. I am looking at that.
We'll definitely win that game.
That sounds
The
like
opposite opposite of a beautiful facility.
I was just going to say
Chicago is just
time.
it's just a giant urinal. It's just a
You guys,
terrible
I
weather. It's
live
gonna rain.
when Soldier Field was being built. They were building the spaceship, right? They were doing the renovation. I lived on Michigan Avenue. I went to school down there, so it was under construction, and I lived across the street. So I got to watch it in all its phases. And at every single step, I thought, "Oh, it's got to be me." I'm not architectural. I can't see it. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to turn out. It's just me. The year after year after year, and then they finished it, and it looked exactly like the giant pile of shit that I walk by every day. And I thought to myself, "It's not me. These idiots just lopped on a space machine into something that was built in the 1800s and tried to morph it." And it's horrible.
They really know how to zag when you should zig nearly every time. The Bears, if you want to know what not to do, just ask the Bears, what would you do, and do the opposite, and your odds of success go through the roof.
Well, I just want to say, Rish, as we're closing out fourth quarter, anything else you want to finish up with? Well, you're one of our favorite people to have on. I just want to see if there's anything you want to say, either to us, the fans listening.
Well, I'll give you guys a quick prediction. To be fair, right? So I'm the Viking insider, so I'm going to go homer with it. But I think what you're looking at here is probably a 24-20 game. It could go either way with turnovers. The Packers are going to run a lot, even if Love starts. They're going to want that clock to keep moving and acclimate them to the game. They're going to force the Vikings to run. They'll play a lot of nickel because we pass, right? You don't want Jefferson going bananas on you. So I think it's going to be a 24-20 game either way. I think the Vikings at this stage of the season are the better team. So I expect them to be the 24. But it would not shock me to see the Packers come back and drop 28 on them. But the Vikings, listen, all you need to know about the Vikings, they went and spent a bunch of money to be good at running the football, playing good defense, and developing a quarterback that got hurt in the preseason. So they spent a bunch of money on this year developing a backup quarterback that's not there. So they're good at running and defense. The game will be close. It'll be competitive. And I expect the Vikings to come out on top.
I'm sorry. I have one real quick question for you, Rish. Can you explain to me how they beat the 49ers? Because they run a very similar defense to us. What was their strategy going into that? And do you feel like the Niners played them soft, or there was injuries? What's the reasoning for that route? Because that is odd. I didn't watch the game, so I'm assuming you did.
Yeah, the 49ers, they were missing Christian McCaffrey. It was their first game without them. And they were relying on a new running back that got a lot of carries. I think if that game was played in week 11, you see them use Deebo Samuel a lot more. McCaffrey's healthy, and it probably looks and feels different. But they couldn't run the ball on us, plain and simple. They were getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and when they tried to pass, we were confusing Brock. Brock Purdy was confused, man. He was throwing the ball into places receivers weren't. Our blitzes confused them. And so then we had the ball. Our offense is good. I mean, Kevin O'Connell calls a good game. So if we're on the field a lot as an offense, we're going to score.
Great. Okay. Sounds like a fluke to me. So that sounds great. I like that. I'm ready. I'm ready
Heard.
for you. I got everything I need to know.
Heard.
Anyone else have any questions?
Well, I just want to say thanks again to the guests. Andy, you're one of my favorite guests we have, and I hope we have you again because I'm sure we're going to play each other again this season at least once, hopefully only once. We're about to close out the fourth quarter here and then get into anything left in your glass and hashtags. But is there anything you gentlemen want to say before we bow out to our sweet guest, Mr. Reich?
No, man, thanks for coming on. It was a blast. I feel like I understand the Vikings. I looked at the Vikings. I don't think I really knew what we were up against. I saw the record and was like, yeah, but it's the Vikings. I think we're going to need more fan magic on this one. I think really the division has to – it's just such a big game. Mayhew?
Yeah, as I said, I think it's going to be an exciting one. And yeah, Reach, thanks for joining us. You're that guest that I fucking love to hate, my man. So anytime. Hopefully next week we can talk about how the Narv dog kicked you in the nuts. All right.
Well, let's leave it on a high note. Hashtag Bourbon Narv Dog. Love you guys, man. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Polish that dome of yours there, Q-Ball.
Harley.
Well done, sir.
Well done, Rishi. Well done.
Thank you, brother.
That was really good. Solid segment there.
Good.
Oh, shit, we
Good.
weren't
Sound come through okay for you?
He's fucking with you. He's fucking with you.
Is it a home game?
Yep.
For who?
Yes, for Limbo.
Us.
For us.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna jump.
All right, man.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
If you're thinking next week, just
Yeah.
FYI, it's probably gonna be late because I'll be traveling. So just shoot me the
That's
time
okay.
that works for you guys, and I'll let you know if I got to jump out a little later or something.
Right on.
You can do your segment at any time. Clearly, we just did the fourth quarter before we did anything else. So you just let
Sweet.
us know when you're ready, and we'll break it down with you then.
All right, brothers.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you.
Later, buddy.
Everybody.
Yeah, fuck that guy, huh? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Thank God he's gone. Now we can fucking get this shit going. Jesus.
Something smells like loser in here. You
Can I tell
smell?
you? No, wait.
Yeah. We talking Green Bay Packers football.
Y'all, as we close out this podcast in whatever quarter we happen to be in, I would like to bring us back to the hashtag reclaiming the North on the count of 3, because we really need to reclaim it from these fucking Vikings. So
yeah.
on a 3, on a 2, on a 1, hashtag reclaiming
Reclaiming the North.
the North.
Two dads and a Chaz putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz talking Green Bay Packers football.
We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot.
Two dads and a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall.
Marty trophies, y'all.
Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.